Diva Dee in Detroit. Now I am Diva Dee Worldwide. Hey, come on and join me for just a few minutes. We gonna laugh and we gonna love. What you saying, Diva Dee? Yeah, this is what we saying. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord. All ye lands, serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Know ye that the Lord is God. It is he that has made us. There it is right there. That's the key right there. It is he that made us. Don't think you making yourself. This is God's world, and we just here passing through. So just for a few little minutes, I want you to stay in and stay tuned to the Diva Dee Worldwide. Diva Dee out. Oh, no, I'm not. Come on back, y'all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my brothers and sisters, my kings and my queens. I have a treat this morning. Oh, man. Okay, camera, cut to my guest this morning. Good morning, Miss April.
Good morning. Only for today. I said I was going to let you know. Only for today.
Only for today what, Miss April?
Only for today.
Oh, okay. Well,
so enjoy it while you can.
I appreciate you coming on, and my audience has been wanting to see you for over a year. So there you are. Usually they have to catch us out in the street, but this morning,
I like that. I like that.
Yeah. But I like this too. I had so many things planned for this for this Sunday, and it all bottomed out, and so it's just me and you this morning.
That's the way God planned it.
And there it is. All right, okay. So this is the first Sunday in July. Oh my goodness, this year is rolling.
Yes, it is.
It's rolling. Man, how was your week?
It was a wonderful week. My mom's at the hospital. Thank you, Jesus.
Amen.
And, it's filled with ups and downs and tosses and turns. And so I just learned that a wonderful mentor of mine, her name is First Lady Ella Mae Murphy, made her transition to glory, which is such a befitting situation because she had been married to her husband, Bishop William Murphy Sr., for over 70 years. And, yes, wonderful woman to be married to one person, 70-something years.
Oh, wow.
And, God called him home.
Mm-hmm.
And so now,
just a little while ago.
Right. Now God decided to
put them back together.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So, condolences to the family.
Yeah. And so I find that, amazing. She was a wonderful woman. She taught me. She was the first one who said to me, queens don't get dirty.
Queens don't get dirty?
Queens don't get dirty.
Okay.
Queens, you don't have to fight a dirty fight because queens don't get dirty.
Okay.
You let the Lord, get dirty.
Handle that business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Queens don't get dirty.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now, your chai tea moment. I loved your your family reunion.
Right.
Your family reunion.
Right.
Okay, we had uncle messing with young girls in the family, and then then we had auntie selling weed out the back door.
Right.
Then we had a lady cousin girl doing stripper dances in the back room at the family reunion, and then you had a cousin Pookie stealing stuff right out from underneath your nose, and then grandma gonna talk about come and eat.
But that's the truth. That is the truth.
Don't put nothing down because he gonna steal it.
He gonna steal it.
Oh, Lord.
He gonna steal it, and don't go in no rooms because you don't know what you gonna see. Stay outside. Stay outside. You heard that. Stay outside.
Stay outside.
Don't go in no rooms.
Oh, Lord.
Stay outside because you don't know what's going to go on in somebody else's house. You know, in your house. That's why that's why they didn't want the family reunion at my grandmother's house, because all that wasn't gonna go on.
Lord,
All that wasn't gonna go on. Number one, the cousin, she was gonna say, "Oh, my grandmother's name was Imogene, Imogene, and they would call her Jean." And so my cousin, any other place, she dressed like she on a stripper pole. But if she knew she was going to Auntie Jean's house, oh no, she was gonna be, she go act like she going to church.
okay.
First time you seen her with not showing no skin is when she go to Aunt Jean's house. And there wasn't gonna be no smoking of no weed. That was not gonna happen. And drinking was moderate. My grandmother would allow drinking because she understand people drink. And in her day, that was the lesser sin.
Right.
Number one, you wasn't gonna do weed because stinking up her house. Oh no, that was not gonna happen. And cousin them knew that Aunt Jean was packing. You take something of hers.
So cousin Pookie, he not stealing from her because she coming from.
She'll bust a cap in his. right. So he wasn't going to because he knew, and then he knew that she was gonna bust a cap in his, and then turn around and pray for him, and then talk to him about what the Word of God says about stealing. So he wasn't gonna go through all that. So Aunt Jean's house, he was gonna stay outside. He wasn't gonna hibernate in the house.
Okay.
And so we didn't have many family reunions at Aunt Jean's house. We had them at the park. If it was at Aunt Jean's, it was gonna be at a park.
Okay. If she hosted,
Right. It was gonna be at a park.
Okay.
If she hosted the family reunion. Now that didn't stop her from doing the major cooking and all of that at somebody else's house, but it did stop.
All them shenanigans.
Right. And you knew that there was gonna be an after party that I wasn't invited to, but there was going to be an after party. After party, they was going to be at somebody else's house.
Doing all that stuff that Aunt Jean didn't let go on. Okay.
Right.
Smoking and drinking and all the paraphernalia.
Right.
Yeah.
And Uncle, whatever his name was, I remember I had an uncle. And my uncle had a girlfriend. I didn't know he had a girlfriend. I was little. And he had a wife.
Oh.
And so one day he decided at a gathering at my grandmother's house, he decided to bring his girlfriend because my aunt was sick at home. So he decided to bring his girlfriend.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right. And so only thing I knew is I heard my grandmother say to him, "Frank, let me holler at you." And Frank went into the next room. You didn't hear nothing. Because I guess my grandma was like, listen, in that. And so next thing I knew, Uncle Frank was giving everybody a hug and said, "I got to go. I'll talk to you guys later." And
come on, baby. We got to go.
We got to go. And he left. And so later on, I found out that that was a Come to Jesus meeting, And my grandmother was like, "Oh, no, not here. You're not going to disrespect her in my house.
Right.
Not here.
Right.
And no, not in front of everybody. No, that's not going to happen. That truly is not going to happen." In our family, we had vicarious people because in my family, one of my favorite cousins, he was a pimp. But I didn't know when I was little he was a pimp because he wasn't allowed to bring that to Aunt Jean's house. He wasn't allowed, and he loved my grandmother like he loved his own mother because come to find out when he was coming up, his mother was sickly, and my grandmother took care of him and his siblings, and so she formed that bond that it was nothing that, and he lived in Pittsburgh, it was nothing that he wouldn't do for my grandmother. It was absolutely nothing he wouldn't do.
I got a caller.
You got a caller.
Wow.
Go ahead.
All right. Good morning. This is Diva Dee Worldwide show. Who's I'm speaking to this morning?
This is Sterling, and I'm calling in for two reasons. First of all, April, that was not my girlfriend that I brought to that event. That was my assistant. It was allegedly my girlfriend. And so I don't like telling all of my business because all my illegitimate kids are really getting upset by this call. That's why they won't be up here in LA this early, okay?
Good morning,
No, but
Sterling.
I really called to thank Diva for coming down. I'm normally not up this early in LA, and so I'm not able to catch her show, but I did promise you that I was going to call in and holler at you and thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I appreciate your son as well. In fact, I just looked at his business card, so I'll reach out to him too. It was good meeting him, and appreciate y'all coming down and supporting, Beautiful Noise.
All right. Yes, sir. You did promise, and thank you so much. And yes, it's pretty early for you.
Yes, it is.
Me and my son, we had a great time.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate you guys. I really do. You too, Miss April.
And so how many of your illegitimate kids was at the Beautiful Noise movie thing?
Well, see, that's the only reason why I'm up right now. I had two of my daughters and my son. Well, allegedly, two of my daughters and my son, and allegedly my son, called me from Detroit and said, "Dad, they're talking about us again on Brit Radio." So I got up. I still have crust all in my eyes and everything. So I had to get up, and then I was like, "See, I was like, April swore to secrecy
she
on
did.
this that day."
Right.
But now, because she has a radio show, she just let everybody know our business.
I didn't swear to
Broke a whole family up today.
I didn't swear to no secrecy.
Yes, she did. She pinky swear.
No, I didn't. I didn't swear to no secrecy because I didn't tell all the goods.
Oh, that's her disclaimer. She didn't tell it all.
I didn't tell all.
So you remember when Grandma came to you and she said, "Look, baby, what happens in the house, in the family, stays in the family."
She told
and
me
you said, "Yes, ma'am," and that wasn't agreeing.
Yes, but that was an agreement with her. She gone on to be with the Lord.
Oh my God. Okay.
That wasn't no agreement with you. She gone on to be with Jesus.
Okay, so anyway, so y'all phone gonna be ringing all day because I was almost through with all my child support payments, and y'all just did this. But anyway, I love you guys.
Love you
Great
too.
show.
Thank you
and it's
so
good
much.
talking to you guys this early in the morning. And watch out when you walk outside, April. That's all I have to say.
Don't tell me because I know cousin Pookie and Ray Ray and them. They still do what they do now, sir.
Hey, but wait a minute. I am cousin Pookie. How you gonna put? I am cousin
There's more than one
Pookie.
Pookie. There's more than one Ray Ray and them. You know how that is.
Okay. I'm scared.
And there's more than one Sean. Remember, there's Sean, there's Deshaun, there's LaShawn, there's Just Sean, there's Mushawn, and there's LaShawn.
Oh my God! Y'all shine me out. I'm out.
And they all from the east side.
Oh my God! Anyway, y'all have a wonderful Sunday.
Thank you, sir.
And a great holiday tomorrow.
All right.
So,
yeah, you be safe.
Okay.
And tell all the family out there. Woohoo!
Oh, there y'all go. I'm out. Have a good one. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much, Sterling.
No problem. You're welcome. Bye.
All right. That was the director and producer.
Creator, too.
Creator. A Beautiful Noise. Yeah. Oh, that was unexpected.
All the way from L.A.?
From L.A. What time is it in L.A.? What is it's 10 something? Is it 7:30? Like 7:30 a.m. Oh, how blessed we are. See? When you
like that, he don't never call in the chai tea moments. Or to top 9 at 9. You never like that.
Well, like you always say, you never know what's going on with the Diva Dee Worldwide show. Listen, I was just too much into TikTok this week. One of the things
I seen you.
One of the did you?
I seen you with saying you got something for her, and you had Bella the dog barking, trying to protect.
Right, you gonna come in on us?
No,
I got
she
something.
in heat.
Right, what's she gonna do?
Right.
One of my friends say you need to put some bass in that dog voice. Well, one of the things, OJ, the juice, he on there talking about we need to protect the women's rights, and we need to protect their body.
Oh, that made you laugh, didn't it?
Oh my goodness! You the government shouldn't be on the on a woman's the right to tell her what to do with her body, and like a million people came on and it was like, you talking about a woman's body, sir?
He should though.
I guess he should.
He should.
He didn't
experience it knowing what not to do.
with a woman's body.
Right, he should.
You didn't give Nicole the right what to say with her body, did you, sir?
Yeah, because he did, because she had babies.
Yeah, a couple of times she did.
But this is my thing.
Mm-hmm.
How about we make it, and I know you're going to get a lot of calls, and they may tell you don't never have that girl on your show no more. How about we make it a rule or make it a law that if a man has more than one child and not married, he has to have a vasectomy?
Ooh, 248-429-7224.
How about we do that?
Ooh. Okay. All right. And we're going to get rid of that Viagra too.
See, that's not my comment. That's Diva Dee's comment, not mine. Because see, Viagra helped some women out. They didn't have to use the toy.
Okay.
Because Viagra is this a Diva Dee Worldwide show? Because
you know how we go.
Some women was using some toys and was using a lot of batteries and
right.
So the
I gotta check into that for educational purposes. The roles, they've talked about that a lot.
I'm confused. Oh, that must be a toy.
Yes, it's a toy, and it's shaped like a rose, and in the middle, the bud is a little tongue. And look straight ahead and blink.
I'm blinking. That's
right.
what I'm doing.
Uh-huh. And I'm told it has about 10 different settings on it. Have mercy.
So 10, it feels like 10 different tongues.
10. That's so for educational purposes. If you have that rose, call in. Let us know.
Where has the Diva Dee Worldwide show gone to? Where has it gone to? Tell me where.
Tell me where.
But I'm saying that Viagra helps some women out. Helps some women.
Right.
Helps some men out too, because there's some men that suffer from
ED, erectile dysfunction.
Mm-hmm. And they suffer some based on I read that if they are a diabetic, they have issues, and some medicines causes them to have some issues, and so it helped them out. So I don't say cancel the blue pill, but I do say to make the plane even as far as birth control is concerned, that if you are a sperm donor and if you have a open child support case and you haven't paid, then maybe that's grounds for you to have a vasectomy. And maybe once you see how it feels for the government to dictate to you what you should do with your body, then maybe you would think twice about making a ruling based on what the government should do in regards to a woman. And did you hear this? This is one thing that I heard that I haven't justified yet, because I can only take so much of Clarence Thomas. I can only take so much of him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the biggest mistake that African Americans ever made was to endorse Clarence Thomas as Supreme Court Justice. Because he has not done anything for the African American culture to better it. He hasn't, you have those judges, like, for example, the first African American judge. He has credentials to prove that not only did he enhance the environment for African Americans, but as a people as a whole. But Clarence Thomas, you have your wife doing crazy,
Mm-hmm.
and you're doing crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So you two match.
Right.
But now he's saying that COVID came, and this is not something that is confirmed. This is something that I read that I'm waiting to see if some scientist or somebody of that authority will pick it up and will denounce it.
Yeah.
That COVID came from aborted fetus.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how did that happen if you never had an abortion and you caught COVID?
Mm-hmm.
And how would it happen to men?
Right. How would it happen to men? How did the men get COVID from aborted fetuses? Yeah.
So what, they had an abortion themselves? What? So I'm confused.
I know. I'm telling you, this week the social media and the news has been burning up. Then they said, what's going to happen to Clarence Thomas if they keep rolling things back, and then they'll see where his wife will own him.
Right.
So let's roll that one back too.
Right.
Yeah, let's roll that one back.
I don't think he's fitting the role of a true Supreme Court justice. I just feel that was one of those moments where we looked at his color and not looked at his credentials, and not look at what he was about. Because you can't tell me he pulled the wool over our eyes all these years. No, there was telltale signs. Just like, for example, to me, it's so ironic that the one Supreme Court justice decides to retire now after Roe versus Wade has been reversed.
Mm-hmm.
He could have retired and could have had it where Ketanji would have been one of the Supreme Court justices to rule in this particular matter. But he waited until after this.
After the
then
vote.
decides, oh, I'm retiring now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a setup. Mm-hmm. I don't think that just coincidentally happened. I think it was a setup. And I think with Clarence Thomas, I think we looked at his color.
But didn't Anita Hill tell us
Oh yeah, she tried to tell us that he was.
all that?
Mm-hmm. We didn't want to believe it.
Yeah.
We wanted a person in color to be on the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm. And that's all we wanted was okay. But I wonder if the vote would have changed if Supreme Court Jackson was on there, because I don't know what the vote ration was.
It may not have changed, but I think some type of awareness.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't have been easy for them to vote this down or to vote this out. It may not have changed the outcome, but at least as a woman, we would have somebody there, especially from an African American perspective,
Mm-hmm.
that understands our role. And in that, I even had people challenge me as far as, you're a woman of God, and why would you be a pro-lifer? And I've had that challenge, and my mindset is, number one, I should not have the right to control another woman's body.
Never.
I should not, no matter what faith I am, no matter what environment I am in, I should not have the right to decide what another female does with her body. That is her business. That is her life. And again, remember I said it to you before, there's some people that got pregnant on terrible situations.
And there's no room for the terrible situations.
You know, I'm thankful to, she's on The Talk. What is her name? She's a comedian on The Talk.
The black lady.
Yeah, she's a comedian.
Oh,
And
okay.
she talked about her when she was younger. She got pregnant. She wasn't ready to be a mother. She was absolutely not ready, and she was living in a dysfunctional household. And by her living in a dysfunctional household, she could not see herself as a teenager bringing somebody else into the world under those circumstances. And so she,
Cheryl Underwood.
Cheryl, she made a conscientious decision to have an abortion because she knew that, number one, the environment that she was in was not safe for her to be in, let alone for her to bring a child in. And so she decided to have an abortion. And so do I say, how dare you?
Mm-hmm.
Unless I'm willing to raise that baby,
Right. Right.
I shouldn't have a say. If I'm willing to say, okay, go ahead, Cheryl, and have that baby, and I'll raise it for you.
Then there's something different. But it's not.
And people aren't looking at the foster care overabundance of children and babies. They're not looking at that.
Mm-hmm.
There's an overabundance of children and babies that are in the foster care. And so do we what we do in regards to that?
And it's not going to stop them. And I know we've already established that. It's not going to stop women from getting abortions. It's just going to stop the legal and safe, because they're going to do what they're going to do.
They are.
They're going to do. If it's a coat hanger like back in the day, throwing themselves down the stairs, going to. I saw two ladies on social media. No, it was on the news. They're in Mexico and they're doing abortions out of their house, and they're getting 5 or 6 different women a week coming in from Texas. And I'm like, you gotta do all that? And they're making no excuses for charting your, the medical field is charting your periods and whatever, so they can see if you're pregnant. Really?
And in that, I was the type of person, and I'm thankful that Mother Nature decided to move on, because I told her she needs to save some 16-year-old's life, because if they mama or daddy find out that they pregnant, they're going to kill them. And so I told her, you need to journey on someplace else, because I'm no longer in need of your services. And so she's tried.
Too kind. You were too kind.
She
gave somebody else your trouble.
Yeah. I wonder how to go, because she has never been, ever been nice to me. She has never, ever. Mother Nature has, I promise you. Number one, I started at the age of 8. Only one in my class carrying a little purse with stuff in it.
I did age 9. Hated it.
8, and never was regular. Never went less than 5 days. Never had normalcy. She showed up when she wanted to show up, even when she shouldn't have showed up. Even when she shouldn't have showed up. Constantly, I was given shots constantly to stop it, because she would just decide, okay, I'm gonna go past 5 days. And one time, I had a heavy flow of 14 days straight, to the point that they had to give me a shot to stop it, because I was weak, and iron, because you lose iron, you lose all of those things. And so life was not normal. She was never normal to me. She was a classic B. She was, that's just the way she was. Embarrassing. She was embarrassing to me in high school. Because in high school I wore white one time in high school. Figured, okay, she just left. I'm good. I wore white, and guess what? She decided to come back that day.
She liked white.
She decided to come back after she had been on her visit, but she decided, oh, I'm coming back to her. And so never. So I'm not the only one that encounters that. So what are they going to do with those? You can't chart me because Mother Nature decides to do whatever she wants to do with me. So why are you charting something instead of doing some other things, doing some things as far as education is concerned? Education is a wonderful thing. And if you feel that we need a more population of children on this world, maybe that's your thing, then have you adopted somebody? Have you fostered somebody?
How about this? The rich white women that have those black men as their little lovers, let them get pregnant.
They not.
Let them get pregnant and see, won't they flip this right back around when these little black babies start coming everywhere. But
see, then you run the risk of opening up another door, which I don't think they understand the risk of opening up another door, because we think that this world is such a, which in Christ you do live a life in abundance, but you have to be so careful of this. They don't call them slaves, but they call them servants, where you get babies and you make them out of your servants, and they wash and they cook and they clean and they do everything of a servant, but not as a child.
Okay.
And so you open up the door for those rich women to
enslave their own
black
black baby. That's a great possibility.
So you open up a big can of worms, wherein that still it should be my right. It should absolutely be my right
My
to
body,
carry
my
a child.
choice.
My body, my choice. And I like Noel. What is his name? Trevor Noel, because Trevor stated some things that really made sense in his documentary this week. He said, "You say they should be more careful." Well, Trojans break. Sometimes birth control don't work, and sometimes forced sex happens. And so, what do you do in regards to those? And then he said the one major thing is that something happens where the fetus is not fully developed, and that person knows that they're not able to take care of a mentally or physically disabled person.
Right.
And so he says, what do you do? What does a woman do? If you're supposed to have 12 chromosomes, but your child only has 6,
what do you do?
What do you do? Because at the end of the day, the government is not going to take care of that child.
No. And you having private insurance is going to go very quickly. And
very quickly. And then the care for that child. Like this one lady was on, I think it was on one of the shows this week, talked about the fact that her and her husband made a conscientious decision that they already had 4 children. When she went for her first test, she was pregnant with her 5th child, and by her being older, she had to take the test to make sure that the baby had all the right chromosomes. But they found an issue, and they found that this baby was going to have some mental and some physical handicaps that was going to take this baby beyond the Down syndrome type mentality. And so her and her husband had to make a conscientious decision. Well, what does that look like? That looks like that we can't barely make it with both of us working.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going to bring a child into our environment that's going to force one of us to not have to work. And can we handle not working? Can we handle, with the 4 children that we have in our lives, can we afford for us not to be able to work? And so she said they had to make that conscientious decision that we can't afford. We can't afford not to work. And so she said they made the conscientious decision that she would have an abortion based on the fact that they knew the dynamics of the lifestyle of that child. And so what do you do?
Yeah. I also, what was trending on TikTok, this lady has 4 children, and one of the baby daddies came and brought food for his kid,
Mm-hmm.
and she ripped him up all 4 sides because he didn't bring anything for the rest of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's been trending.
Mm-hmm.
So she said you can't you can't have him sitting here and you got the rest of them sitting there with nothing, and I don't have no food. My food stamp card or something don't come in till a week or 2 later. So what they gonna do? So that's been trending.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see both sides of it. She would not let him come and get his kid and take it
Mm-hmm.
somewhere and eat, so he wouldn't have to sit in front of the other ones. But I mean, how selfish is she? If you have multiple children with multiple kids, well, there's the problem there.
Mm-hmm.
There's the problem. Pick you a man that got some money.
I had some issues with that because
Did you see it?
I seen it because you mean your kids is not going to eat until next week?
Right.
Because you said I don't have no food and I don't get my food stamps don't come in until next week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I worked in the system before. I worked for the system before, and if you don't have any food, they give you emergency. It's not much, but they give you emergency portion for your kids to be able to eat.
Mm-hmm.
But she said she don't have no food and she don't get her food stamps until next week. So I had a concern. So your kids gonna starve until next week?
Right.
What your kids supposed to eat till next week?
Because even if he brought food for everybody that day, what you gonna eat tomorrow?
And so that was my concern. And then number 2 is, and I don't like social media. I really don't like social media because she felt that she was blasting him.
Mm-hmm.
And what punishment was by blasting him, making it known to the public how he is. But does that serve your kids any justice? Does that benefit your children? Does that benefit the son of that man? Does that benefit him? Were you looking really out for their well-being, putting him on blast on Facebook? Did you get any food after that?
Right.
And he posed a good question. Where they daddies at?
Mm-hmm. Right. Where they daddy at?
Where they at?
Why is it his responsibility? Now, if he was in a relationship with her and them, that's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
If they were actively dating, but it was obvious that they wasn't. So, I I felt the same way. Why are you putting this black man on blast like this? You know, why was it necessary for you to do that?
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't going to change. He wasn't going to magically go in his pocket and say, "Oh, you know what? You right. Here's $20. Get the." And then when she did accept the food, she threw it on the ground. So nobody got it. Girl.
She felt that was justifiable. So my question also is, well, do you treat visits like that when he come pick up his kids because the other fathers aren't picking up their kids? Are you making that an issue too? Are you making an issue when he says, I'm coming to pick up my son? Are you saying to him, if you can't pick them all up,
don't pick them up at all?
Don't pick them up at all. Because that's a habit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a habit. That was established. That wasn't the first.
It wasn't the first time. It wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't. You could tell by the posture. It wasn't the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, my thing was, okay, why wouldn't you just say to him, okay, take the son, but bring him back tomorrow, so the kids don't have to hear and see none of it. Bring him back tomorrow,
mm-hmm.
if that's possible.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people said, well, a true man would, but it seemed to me he's done that, but he's tired of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Because he said, how many times do I have to take care of
all of y'all?
All of y'all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one, when they said that true man thing, I'm like, click off, click off, click off. You can't define what a real man is doing based upon this 30-second video.
You can. You truly can.
You know, that he not a real man because he didn't feed everybody. Well, why don't he just pitch a tent and just
Well, at least he feeding the one.
Right.
At least he's
got no
responsible.
credit.
At least he's responsible for the one that he did bring into this earth.
Mm-hmm.
But again, he said, what the rest of their daddies?
Mm-hmm.
And then my thing is also, what did that blast do? Did it put any more food in your? Did the other daddies come forth and say, well, here, he ain't got to feed my kids because I feed my own kids? Or are you still waiting on them food stamps to come in?
Right.
And then how are those kids eating up until then? Did you go to Focus Home? Did you do the WIC? Did you're not saying enough on how you're handling and how you're feeding. And if you're at work, then you don't have no money to buy your kids no food?
Well, her hair and nails was done. She did a second video.
Her hair and nails was done, but her kids didn't have no food.
She had long, pretty hair. Now, maybe she did it herself. Not.
She still had to buy the stuff.
She did. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I cannot put my standards on somebody else. I cannot. Now, I honestly can say I had a great support system, because without my mom and my dad, life would have been horrible for me without that support system. My mom and my dad, they were a lifesaver when I was bringing my son up. They was a great support system, to the point that I remember when I was dating somebody and they decided to say to me, which I wanted to slap them to Jesus come back, that we were really serious, to the point that we were engaged. And he said to me, you only have one child, so if you really wanted to get pregnant and try to have a girl, I would support you. Right, you looking like I was.
He's him said that.
Him said that, and I look like you look. And I said, that's not gonna happen. Cause then I thought about the support system. Thought about it. Okay, let me think about it. I thought about the support system. My dad had gone on to be with the Lord, and my mama was older, And I said, you don't have a support system like you had it before. And that plays a role. That
It
plays a
does.
part. That plays in the part of your decision making. I said, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good, because in my mind, I knew that role was very rewarding. Raising my son was very rewarding, but to possibly do it, because in my mind, I'm thinking about something could happen to you, and I'll have to do this on my own again. And oh no, I'm good. I'm good.
What if it wasn't a girl?
Right. We already had 7 boys. Oh, I didn't have 7 boys. I only had 1. But in my mother has 7 grandkids, and all of them are boys. So that was the trend. There's no girls.
Okay. Ooh, it was a hot time last week with that news.
It was.
And then had several killings of officers last week. I don't remember the city. And another officer died. And then you had those 51 refugees that died in the truck in Texas.
Right.
What? How?
And the one is going to act like you was a passenger when you really was one of the people that was driving it.
Okay. Because you just left him.
He went in the back and he faked it.
Oh, okay. He got out from the driver and got it.
And act like he was a passenger. Come to find out he was one of the people that was driving the truck.
That. Ooh, I'm sorry. My neighbor got up especially early this morning. Doing home repair at 7:30 in the morning. My eyes woke up and my 2 dogs barking. And so they have all the drivers.
No, they're still. I said they said that there's still like 2 more out there. 2 more that was a part of the conspiracy to bring in migrants. But the one guy, they said, based on, I guess, now modern technology will allow them to backtrack, I guess, the travel that the truck went through.
Oh, the log history.
And then to identify cameras that showed that one time he was actually driving the truck. But evidently when it got so where they was all dying and they couldn't justify bringing all these people that's dead, and so he decided, he knew he was going to get caught, so he decided to go get in the back of the truck and act like he was one of the victims.
Very smart people. Wonder who's getting the there's a trail and then there's a money. At the end of the day, the people that's running away, they have to pay so much money to smuggle to get over here. But who's on this end that's taking the money, that's providing the truck and the gas and the lack of food and whatever? They never go after that person.
They don't.
You don't even hear about that person because somebody's here saying, bring them over here, and that's the person with the big bucks. They never do. They never get that. So the whoever that the drivers work for, where are they?
I guess that's the mystery or the mysterious question that they're trying to answer. I think that some of them know who they are, but they're in high places.
They must be in very high places. Let's get that Clarence Thomas. Let's put him in a truck.
He wouldn't last. They throw him out.
Right. They wouldn't even let him in.
They don't even speak English, but they would know by his consonants He ain't right. They kick him out.
And I mean, they come over on little bitty boats.
Yes.
And everything. I can't imagine that you would come all the way from wherever you are and the conditions that you would put your life on a little bitty boat, or to put 200 people in, because I think it's still 50 something people that's in the hospital. Mm-hmm. So you got 200 something people in that truck. Mm-hmm. Oh, God is so good that we are in.
And you don't even get a truck with insulation or a truck that's got vents. They do have those moving trucks that's got vents, because I've seen them moving truck with the vents. Mm-hmm. But you just get a truck with no ventilation, no nothing, and you put them all in,
and then pack them in.
And you pack them in, and then when you pack them in, you don't even you don't even say, well, we need to schedule some time for them to get out this truck. But they die in the truck.
Mm-hmm. No bathroom breaks, no food.
But you're making money.
Right, but they making money. And that's what I'm saying. Follow the trail. Money. Follow the trail. Keep going past the drivers. Who's financing these things? Because that's a lot of money. Who's financing that?
200 people. Mm-hmm. Somebody got money from 200 people to bring them over to America that failed.
Right. Mm.
And my thing is, think how many times this has happened that we just didn't realize it. Mm-hmm. Think how many times that maybe bodies was dumped in the desert someplace for the animals or whatever to eat, and we don't have a clue.
Right.
But think because we got treacherous people. Mm-hmm. Think how many was put into the swampland for the alligators to eat. These alligators are big as heck. Why the alligators so big as heck?
Right. And we had a lot of shark attacks.
Yeah.
This week. Who pissing off the sharks? Because these people are not way out in the ocean. They're in, they're close to shore. Mm-hmm. And the 15-year-old girl, he bit her and then let go and then came back at her again.
So this is good.
Right. The animals and the elephant. Did you hear about the elephant?
Elephant with the lady bathing suit?
No. The lady was out in the jungle, did something to the elephant, pissed him right off, and he killed her.
Oh no.
And then they had her funeral. The elephant went to the funeral.
What?
And got the body, towed up the body, and then had his crew tear up her house.
Really?
The elephant. Yes.
Really?
Yes. He went to I'm not finished with you.
What did she do? The elephant went to the funeral. It's in a village. Went to the funeral, got her body, and tore up some more. And then his tribe went and tore up her house.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I told you it was
got gangster mafia
elephants.
No,
yes.
I seen the one where the woman was sitting on the other elephant, and the one elephant liked her bathing suit bottom. He kept on pinching her bathing suit, her booty, and she kept on trying to move his trunk.
Oh, yeah.
And every time she would move his trunk, he would go and pinch her booty again. And she was looking like, what the world?
You think she just got up and moved?
Uh-huh. I would have moved first time.
Right. If an elephant smack you on the butt.
Oh, I'm moving. Number one, be happy that I'm on another elephant, number one.
Oh, wow.
Be happy about that.
But yeah, that the animals is going on wild this week. Woo.
Wow, I didn't know that about the elephant though.
You gotta
And
Google that
so
one.
That one is she must have did something very horrible to him for him to even kill her and then go to the funeral.
And then go to the funeral.
I'm gonna finish this.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And what was the other people doing? I guess they couldn't do nothing. A pack of elephants there.
No, they couldn't do anything. And I wouldn't have wanted to be an usher. Oh. No.
Right.
You standing at the door. Oh, what? Okay, sir, you can't come in here.
I didn't say that.
Right.
Help yourself.
You know what? I'm out. Give the program to somebody else.
I would have been like, I think I left the stove on at home. Let me go check the stove.
I'm not doing these funerals no more. These funerals out in the wild. You know what? I told y'all we should have had it at the funeral home. Because she out here in the wild. Y'all thought it was nice. Well, okay.
Like, I left something boiling on the stove.
In America.
Let me go tiptoe my way. I would have really did the Baptist tip right on out of there.
Man, that was just crazy. It was crazy. That was trending.
And I guess it's true that elephants have a wealth of remembrance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he actually remembered and wanted her.
Yeah, she had to
so-
be doing something really.
But they say that's the same way with, like, when they say we caught this gator in somebody's house and we captured it and we took them back to where they belong.
They were where they belong. You the one that's in the wrong.
Right.
You done pushed them. You pushed them out of their house, and now they returned, and here you are going. You ain't supposed to be here, right?
And then you go, what?
Mm-hmm.
Thinking he not gonna come back? Oh no, my mama, you better kill him.
Right.
Because he's coming back.
Mm-hmm. Oh, one summer, I had just a slew of possums. Oh, I don't even want to talk about it because it's just horrible. And those things was just, and the guy that was catching them, he wouldn't kill them. He said, I'm gonna take them like 20 or 30 miles away from here. I said, but that's how they got here in the first place. Because whoever had 20 or 30 miles, they brought them in our area
Right.
to do that. So, yeah. I guess my yard was their thing. And I had a fox that was sitting out there waiting on them. I had a fox. I had a reddish looking fox, and they have a hole. No matter how much I dig and cover these holes, they make another one. Well, this one particular time I happened to look out, and he was sitting right underneath this hole, and I was like, I wanted to holler, get him, but you know, go on down in there. Yeah, but it worries me because I got Bella and Bootsy, and you know they ain't but that big, and those possums and groundhogs are huge, and you know
And we do have a lot of groundhogs. So I was riding someplace, and I said, "Is that a groundhog?" And it was a fat one too.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see it. I know where I was at. I was going to the Southfield. They have the Wednesday night or whatever little jazz thing, and as I was walking, you know how right there's that empty lot or whatever, and the groundhog just made his way up and was just walking like he was regular people.
Yeah, because they do think that they regular people.
wasn't afraid of people. He was just walking, and I said, "Oh, that's a fat one too." And so I hurried up and moved my way over, because I said, "This your property. I'm gonna be right over here." And so, but we do have a great amount of groundhogs, and it was like, wow.
And the deers, they're not scared of anything. You can
They
walk
not.
up, you can walk right on up to them and have a conversation. But they do appear to be irritated because you're bothering them.
Right.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
I was afraid because I've never seen the deers be so close. I was sitting in my car, and as I was sitting in my car, you know how you sit in your car, you ready to get stuff to get out the car, and I was getting my stuff ready to get out the car, and I looked up, and there was a deer standing there, and it was a young deer, and I said, I guess I'm gonna sit right here because the mama got to be somewhere close, and I don't want the mama to even think that I'm trying to hurt her deer. And the deer stayed there for a good while, and I sat there in the car.
And you sat there for a good
I
while.
sat there for a good while.
My niece has, she lives a mile. We're a mile apart. And if I see a deer or so, then I just wait. One particular time, she was on Facebook just screaming and hollering because she opened up her drapes and there was deers at her picture window looking at her.
Wow.
And she had a fit. And she just was just saying they're going to come in at her. But it was a whole lot of them, at least about 10.
Oh, my.
And I'm going, girl, them things, and they had circled the house. It was like,
Oh, my.
and I think the more that she screamed, the more they was calling their friends, come look at this old silly woman. And so I got in my car. Me and Bootsy went down there, and I went to the door, and she barely opened the door. And I said, what's the matter? And she said, don't you see all them deers? And by this time, they had sat down on her grass and was just sitting there looking.
Oh, my.
Just sitting there, And I said, them right there? I said, okay. Me and Bootsy ran and chased them all. And then I went and I said, you see this house right here? Stay away from this house right here. Go somewhere else. And they was looking at me like, she's crazy too.
I would have been in the house. Said, okay, you go right ahead.
She was.
Because the mother is somewhere around. Mm-hmm. And the father is somewhere around too.
Mm-hmm. My niece got on Facebook and she turned the camera and she said, look at this crazy woman out here talking to these deers.
But it works though. I'm telling you, it works because I worked at when I worked at GM, I was at the Warren Tech facility. Mm-hmm. And when I was at the Warren Tech facility, I would catch the parking ride. And so I had to walk through that particular complex to get to the parking ride on Van Dyke. And so at the Warren Tech, they got fountains and all that other stuff. And they got little ponds and the deers and stuff and the ducks and the geese be hanging out there. And so I would be walking, going to the little bus thing.
I'm glad you're on camera.
Oh. I would be walking, and I would see them, and as I would see them, the geese, the mother geese or the father geese would hiss, and I'd be like, I'm just